Hi, I'm Brian Patrick, host of Sacred Heart Radio's Sunrise Morning Show, now heard across the nation on the EWTN Global Catholic Network. I'm a big fan of the good work that's going on here at Ruah Woods, especially Theology of the Body for Teens, really with a life-transforming message for young people. Now here are some special friends of mine who want to share their experience and hope about Theology of the Body for Teens.
I'm 17 years old. I attend Corn High School. I participated in the football team, the basketball team, and the track team. For football, I've committed to play at the University of Notre Dame. I've grown up Catholic while attending a public school my whole life, so there's been challenges there, but I feel like I've been able to embrace my Catholic faith. I actually heard about Theology of the Body through a friend. He was enrolled in this class, and I was searching for answers at the time. I chose to follow chastity on my own because it's what I believed in, but I wasn't really sure of why I believed that, so I was searching for answers, and through Theology of the Body, I found those answers.
We got a bunch of kids together and decided to bring the kids to the classes, and I was one of the moms that drove probably more times than anybody else. So I could hear the conversations of the kids as we're driving them to and from. And I noticed that the more times I'd bring the kids to the classes, the more spirit-filled they were, more joyful. They were happy to come to the classes. You know, as a parent, we love to hear that, but I was kind of wondering what's going on, you know? And I remember hearing the kids saying things like how the classes have kind of changed them and made them better people. But especially with my son, he said, "Mom," he said, "I am different from taking these classes. I really think a lot differently about how I need to view myself." And it changed him, and I'm grateful for that change because he really believes it. He believes in what he learned through the classes, and he's not afraid of it.
I spoke at Mount Notre Dame High School to a group of girls throughout the day. There I just shared what I learned through Theology of the Body, my personal experiences, and why I choose to follow chastity. The girls at Mount Notre Dame were shocked. They thought that there were no guys out there that held chastity to be true. So just me coming out there and speaking from my own experiences, speaking from my heart, they felt hope. They felt like there are guys out there that are good guys that can treat them right and hold the same beliefs that they have.
I have a friend that's involved in a thing called Pure Fashion, and that's where girls learn how to dress properly and act properly. And they asked him if he could be involved in that in different ways and speak to the girls, you know, like a couple times. And he actually invited some of his friends to come and speak also. And then they invited him to be in the Pure Fashion show itself, and he said, "Fine, I'll be in it," you know? So I don't want to say he's like just a great kid, but he is a great kid. And we're blessed, and he knows it. He's been on interviews also, like on Fox Sports or something after games, and he's already said, you know, my gifts are from God, and and if it wasn't for him, he wouldn't be in where he is at right now.
Because of Theology of the Body, my relationship with my family has flourished, especially with my mother. With my mother, I can talk about everything, especially the challenges I face and just different things I encounter on a daily basis. My relationship with my siblings has changed as well, especially with my older brother. My brother, he faced similar experiences to me in high school, so I feel like we can really relate now, and I've just been able to open up to him, and he can give me tips and advice, and it's really strengthened not only what I believe in, but also what he's believed in. Oftentimes today, the media portrays that living a life committed to chastity is something out of reach, it's out of touch, that Catholicism is weak. But being able to talk with these kids who also committed to chastity, it strengthened me, it strengthened them, and I feel like I will carry this on for the rest of my life.
I would recommend this class for anyone. It's definitely changed my life. The people I met and the things that I got to experience and the openness that everyone had was incredible. For teenagers to be so open about their faith, it's a topic that not a lot of people want to talk about, but everyone really did, and they opened up. I loved the group discussions when we got in small groups, and they would give us little activities and we had to relate them to our everyday life or how this will help us in our life. The pressures that we have as girls in our society is huge. The pressure to be pretty and to be stick thin and to date, the quarterback of the football team. It's a lot of pressure. and going to parties and drinking and smoking and all that, that's a very heavy pressure on us. And Theology of the Body is saying why we shouldn't do that and why we should rise above that. And at the end we wrote a letter. The girls wrote a letter to the boys, and the boys wrote a letter to the girls saying what we loved about them and the qualities that they possess and the qualities that we think young men of Christ should possess. And we also ended with a challenge for each other to live in our faith.
The first challenge with Theology of the Body is most people don't even know what it is. So once you bring them up to speed on the teachings of John Paul II, it really leads into a simple question, I think, from our perspective to them. What do you want for your child, right? Particularly your adolescent child who's faced with cell phone, internet, TV, and the whole barrage of modern society. And their answer is, we want our kid to be independently stable, physically, emotionally, and spiritually safe. As her parents, the biggest fear in this world isn't so much putting her in a car or sending her off to college next year. It's how will she react in terms of the pressures, particularly the relationship pressures that she'll face. And in the case of Theology of the Body, will Caitlin be able to stand alone and make her own good decisions? I want my kid to be emotionally, spiritually, and physically safe. Well, if that's the case, then you need to check out Theology of the Body.
Thank you, Dan and Caitlin, and thank you, Monica and Jarrett, for your willingness to open your hearts to this beautiful message of Theology of the Body and your holy boldness in sharing this with the world. Now, I would like to ask you to examine our hearts to see how we can help spread this message of Theology of the Body. I know God will bless you abundantly for your generosity. Now, here's someone to tell us how we can all help.